Hi, and welcome to Publishing Power. This is Joelle, and I am again back this week with Christina Stanley from Fictionary. Hello, Christina.
Hi, Joellen. So we're getting close to the end of the setting story elements.
We are. It's getting very exciting. We have 3 more, I believe. Today, we want to talk about location split. And I think you just need to tell us first, what the heck does that mean?
So location split just means that a location within a scene has changed. And so maybe you start your scene inside a house, and the next piece of the scene is in a taxi. So that would be a location split.
Okay. And so why is this important?
So it's actually very important. And really, when you're reading your manuscript, you need to think about, it takes you right back to what is a scene, right? And if you remember from one of the early lessons, the scene is, you typically start a new scene if the point of view changes, if the setting changes, or the time changes. You don't have to, but these are opportunities to do that. And so when you mark down that you have within a scene changed the location, that enables you to monitor and evaluate the pacing of your story.
We're monitoring and evaluating that on our own, but how does this show? What's it look like?
Right. So this is where it comes down to. So we've done many of our story elements, and as we went through, we marked our scenes if there was a location split. And what we're trying to do here is use our word count per scene. And so you need to know your word count for every scene. I got to do a little shout out to Fictionary here, because we do it automatically for you, so you don't have to do it manually.
Right.
It's done in seconds, and you can visually see your whole novel drawn out on a word count per scene. And what you're looking for are the scenes that are too long for your story structure. So for example, if you have a story where most of your scenes are, 700 to 2,000 words-ish, and then you've got a scene in there that's 5,000 words, and it's not your climax scene, that's probably an issue. And there you can look at, if you marked that was a scene you actually have more than one location, so you split location, you'll go right to that scene and see where you did that, and can you start a new scene?
Exactly. So that helps us reorganize, re-anchor ourselves, and get better into that scene a little bit stronger with the characters and point of view, I guess. So that's pretty good. So what are the pitfalls with this? What's going to happen there?
So the pitfalls are, one, if you don't know that you've changed location, like you're not really aware of it, you've just written the scene, you don't pay attention to it, you're missing an opportunity to tighten up your story. Right. And so if you change location within a scene, you need to describe all those words. And was it really important for the reader to know that I got dressed, I picked up my purse, I put on my lipstick, I locked my front door, I went down to the street, I waited for my taxi, I got in the taxi? Or I probably should say Uber, because, that's what we all do. But, I get in the car and off I go. No. And so all of a sudden that scene has slowed right down. Those are the boring bits of life, and we don't want any life boring bits in a story ever. They just need to go. So if you, instead of having that in one scene, if you just end my indoor scene with Christina slammed down the phone, that's the end of the scene. Skip the whole part where I walk outside, and now I'm sitting in this car and I'm fuming about whatever just happened on the phone. And so right away, it's faster without having all those extra words.
Excellent. So you're going to tell us we have to go back through all our scenes, and we have to count our words and look for the location split.
Yes.
Anything else there going on?
It's a little harder than that. So as you're evaluating, when you're going through and you're doing all of your Fictionary story elements, then that's an easy one. Just mark it. Right? You've just marked location split. So by the time you're at the end of your first read through, in these 10 scenes, 12 scenes, whatever, I've split locations. Can I go back and look at, could I pick up the pacing there? Right? However, it links into all of the other story elements in a big way. And so when you do that, so say you decide, yep, there's a location split, I'm going to split my scene. When you do that, the first part of the scene that stays, we'll just call it scene A, you need your exit hook. So make sure there's an exit hook, right? When you start the next scene, is there an entry hook? Is the point of view anchored? Is the setting anchored? And is the timing anchored? And so you need to reevaluate when you split a scene, what you've done to both of those scenes. And then that plays right back in. And if you've been following along and doing your fictionary story elements as you go, you'll see that how this leads in, and we're getting more and more into the interaction of all the story elements.
Exactly. Well, folks, that's your assignment for today. Go back through and look for all those word counts on your locations and check it out. Make sure it's all established and nice and tight. And remember, if you get frustrated anytime, you can always reach out to a professional editor and we can help you through this. We're certified here at First Editing to do the story coach editing and to help you get through it. So again, we'll gladly look through the next of our story elements and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Joelle, and see you next week.